Human civilization had grown, cities expanded, and human ability increased. But human character did not improve with it. Violence spread, and corruption entered everyday life. Yet, in the middle of a generation moving away from God, one man walked faithfully. His name was Noah. The population of the earth increased, families multiplied, and daily life continued. But beneath the appearance of ordinary progress, something destructive was growing. People planted and built, unaware of the shift in the heart of their culture. Power was increasingly used without restraint. The strong preyed upon the vulnerable, and fear became part of daily life. Corruption was no longer limited to isolated acts. It began shaping the culture itself. The earth was filled with violence. Wrongdoing becomes dangerous when society stops being shocked by it. Cruelty becomes ordinary, and people learn to survive by looking away. Eventually, what should have caused grief begins to feel normal. What becomes normal begins to shape us. Genesis says that human wickedness had become great. Violence begins before a weapon is raised. It begins in the imagination and direction of the heart. When greed outweighs justice and power is separated from responsibility, compassion dies while progress continues. The Lord saw what humanity had become, and his heart was deeply troubled. This was divine grief. Human beings, created to cultivate life, had filled the earth with cruelty. God's judgment would come because violence and suffering mattered. God was grieved by human violence. But one man stood apart. Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. He was righteous, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah was not perfect. His life was simply directed differently. While others normalized violence, Noah continued to value life. Faithfulness often looks ordinary before it looks courageous. It begins in daily choices: honesty when deception is easier, and mercy when cruelty is celebrated, self-control when anger is rewarded. Noah did not become faithful when the ark appeared. He was walking with God before the warning came. A crisis does not create character. It reveals what daily choices have been building. What are your daily choices preparing you to become? Crisis reveals what consistency built. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. They lived in the same violent generation. The coming command would not affect Noah alone. His obedience would reshape the lives of his entire household. Faith may begin within one person, but its consequences reach a family. Noah's decision would ask those closest to him to work and trust before they saw any evidence of rain. Their collective effort was beginning. God revealed to Noah that the earth had become filled with violence. A flood would come upon the earth. Noah received a warning no one around him appeared prepared to believe, changing his life forever. A warning creates responsibility. Once Noah knew, he could not return to ordinary life. The information demanded action. The command that followed would require enormous labor and obedience without visible proof. God instructed Noah to build an ark from suitable wood, coated with pitch. It would contain rooms, 3 levels, an entrance in its side, and an opening near the top. The blueprint for survival was delivered. The ark was to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. This was an enormous vessel designed to preserve Noah's household, the animals, and their provisions. The scale was monumental. This was not a project built in secret. It was too large to hide. Every beam would become a visible declaration that Noah believed the warning he had received. Noah's family had to understand the cost of obedience. Their ordinary routines were about to change. Time, strength, and resources would now be given to construction, and the work would attract unwanted attention. Faith did not remove the difficulty of the command. It gave Noah a reason to obey despite it. Genesis records his response simply: Noah did everything God commanded him. The family did not possess every answer, but they began the work together. Action started with the first step. The ark began with ordinary materials: wood, rope, pitch, tools, and human hands. Faith did not cause the structure to appear instantly. It required the selection of every beam. Noah and his family measured, cut, and carried. They joined the timber and repeated the work. Obedience became visible through their physical labor and sweat. Every day the ark grew slowly. Every day the sky remained unchanged. The absence of immediate evidence did not cancel the command. The foundation was set. Faith acts before the result is visible. Noah built beneath a clear sky. Every day without rain was an opportunity to doubt, but delayed fulfillment did not make obedience unnecessary. Faith works before evidence appears. What have you stopped doing because the result did not come quickly? As the ark rose, it was impossible to ignore. Some watched with curiosity, while others responded with ridicule. A massive vessel was being constructed on dry ground, far from any sea. Noah's belief affected how he used his time and strength. Conviction is more difficult when it can be seen. He could only decide whether the reactions of others would change his direction. He chose to continue. Faithful decisions often look unreasonable to those without conviction. Setting a boundary may appear extreme, but you do not need everyone's approval to obey. Whose opinion has become more powerful than your conviction? Noah's generation could see the ark, but not the flood. The work was not completed in a day. The first excitement faded, and the labor remained. Obedience became routine as the months turned into years. There were heavy beams to lift and measurements to correct. The middle of a long assignment tests what beginnings cannot. The goal felt distant, and the cost became clearer with every passing day. Faithfulness is not only beginning what God commands, it is continuing when the work becomes ordinary. Each sunrise brought a new decision to stay the course. Many people begin with passion, but fewer continue when obedience becomes repetitive. Character grows through choices no one applauds. Faithfulness is built through repetition. What good work have you abandoned because it stopped feeling exciting? The structure became more than an outer shell. Rooms were built, levels were added, and an entrance was formed. The ark was becoming a place capable of preserving life in the midst of storm. God gave Noah more than a warning. He established a covenant with him. Noah would enter the ark with his entire household. The coming judgment would not erase every human life. A family would be preserved. Animals would also be preserved according to their kinds. Food was gathered for the household and for the creatures under their care. The ark was a place of preservation and responsibility. Faith did not eliminate planning. Trusting God did not mean ignoring practical responsibility. Noah believed the promise, so he gathered supplies. Preparation was obedience made practical. They were ready. Some acts of obedience protect people beyond the person who obeys. A parent's integrity can shape a household. Your obedience may shelter someone else. Who could be affected by the choices you are making today? Noah's faith was personal, but not private. While Noah built, the world continued. People traded, celebrated, and made plans. The familiar rhythm of life made the warning easy to ignore, as if tomorrow would always be the same. The sun still rose, and the market still opened. Because judgment did not arrive immediately, delay was mistaken for absence. The sky remained clear, and the warning felt like a distant memory to most. Delay can create false confidence. A harmful habit may produce no immediate crisis, but delay is not the same as safety. Are you treating patience as permission to continue what you know is wrong? Noah used the delay to prepare. The structure that began as lines in the soil now towered above the land. The frame became walls, the walls became rooms, and the rooms finally became a completed vessel of wood and pitch. No rain had fallen, and the ground remained dry. But the ark stood, a monument of faith made visible. It was a massive testament to a warning no one else believed. Genesis summarizes Noah's response. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. That sentence contains years of labor, sacrifice, endurance, and trust. He had finished the task. Noah's story speaks to anyone asked to remain faithful before seeing results. Whether refusing corruption or building a healthier home, faith trusts God enough to act responsibly within the difficulty. It prepares before the storm is visible. Noah could not control the coming flood, but he could control whether he obeyed. He could not force his generation to change, but he could choose the direction of his household. He built the ark. Noah lived in a violent world, yet he built in faith. Faith before the rain meant working before evidence appeared, and trusting God more than the appearance of the sky. The door had not yet closed, and the rain had not yet fallen. In the next episode, the skies would change. Which part of Noah's story speaks to you? Faith, obedience, preparation, endurance, courage, or responsibility? Write one word in the comments and explain why. Subscribe as we continue our cinematic journey through Scripture.